Welcome to Golden Tee Mobile, the league. I'm Chad Schrump, and today we have the match of the week featuring Calzone and Marc, two of the best players, the most elite of the elite in all of the gold division. Right now, Calzone, Matt Calderone, first place in gold, 14-2 on some kind of a tear, playing Marc Duchesne, who right now is 6-9, working his way back up the standings. But Marc, as we all know on the leaderboards, one of the very best. Today's match of the week will be played on Juniper Falls. Juniper, one of the most beautiful courses in Golden Tee Mobile, is also one of the most scoreable when it comes to the front nine. So both players will be attacking this first hole and will be looking for great shot points from the very beginning. So when we looked at the first hole, it looks like the pin is cut on the very front of this green. So the stinger type of shots, the 1-iron, the 2-iron shots that you've been seeing on some of the head-to-head world qualifier matches probably won't suit these players on this hole. They're going to more likely loft in like a 6-iron and let that float in for some points. We'll see how Calzone does right here. Look at him pull this thing straight back. It's so important. He's not going to go full power. Looks like about 96, 97% power, and we'll try to hit this as straight as possible. See if he can get some points here. If it clears that lip, it does, and comes in just a little bit short, but it's points, 5,200 of them. So very good point. Good shot by Calzone, good points, and he's on the board early in his match against Marc. Now, as we know, Marc is also one of the great shot point players in all of Golden Tee Mobile. He will also pull this thing back dead straight. Throws it out about 97% as well. Clears easily and rolls and just misses. So he's going to get a few more points than Calzone and will take a little bit of an advantage going into hole 2. Why do I say he takes an advantage? Although both players birdied the tiebreaker, if you've been following along, great shot points. So the more points you have, that is like a half stroke. The player with the most points, if they are tied, will have the advantage and will win this match. So both players, by the way, some of the best in the world at getting great shot points. Marc will throw this thing over the mountain on hole number 2 with a grabber. It backs up a little bit. He'll have a nice easy putt in, and it looks like Calzone will be doing the same. That is a 5-wood. That is most likely a high tee. And he throws that up with a grabber ball. That's going to hit softly, back up just a little bit. And there you see it. And he's going to have an easy putt into the green. So both players will be eagling 2 and will be 3 under par going into the third hole, which is a very gettable par 3 that both players have the potential to ace. And there you see it, 3 under each. Marc with a slight advantage on great shot points. That will change because these players can both get points, and a lot of them, and in a hurry. So Marc will look at this hole, 165-yarder, throws it out a little left, hoping for a bounce. He gets it, and it rolls up a little short, but another great shot, firing bullets already. That's another 8,000 points for Marc. 2 out of 3 holes with great shot points as we start this match off. So I would anticipate when Calzone comes up to bat here shortly, he will be throwing in a very similar shot. And I'm wrong. He's going to use a sniper. So we'll see how close he can throw this sniper into the hole. If you're going to do this, you need to hit this very far. You can't leave it short, obviously. That is got a 7-mile-an-hour wind pushing, and he hit that a little bit right. That's going to be short. That's not going to be points. It's fine. It's a birdie. It's a good shot. It's just not a great shot. Both players will go into hole number 4 with a couple of birdies and 4 under par. This one starts to get a little interesting. Hole 5 is a par, hole 4 rather, is a par 5. This one has a couple of options. There's 2 landing zones that players use. I believe Marc uses the bottom landing zone, and he does. He's going to set the 6-wood with the sniper on this bottom shelf, and then you see the mountain to the left. He will hit over that mountain with a 3-wood, 5-wood, somewhere in that nature, and get it on the green. And Calzone goes where I go. He goes to the upper shelf, and he will most likely have a 3-wood or a high loft driver, which he'll be trying to get over the mountain. So it's just two different ways to play. Both ways are fine. It's whatever you're comfortable with and probably most likely been playing with all along. Calzone will have a 3-wood sniper. His goal here is just to park this thing right by the cup. Look at the high, beautiful shot. Little bit long, but it's nice and safe. And here is the 5-wood for Marc. 7-mile-an-hour wind pushing. He's going to hit this a little less than 100%, 96%, and throws an absolute dart into the green. Both players will have very makeable putts. So 2 more eagles here on hole number 4. Both players will be 6 under par through 4 holes, and Marc Duchesne has a great shot point advantage as we go into hole number 5. So Marc has honors, and this is a tricky hole, and that pin is diabolical. So Marc will try to go in with a driver, see if he tries to bank this off this rock wall, and he does and gets the beautiful kick. That will leave him a probably 50 or 60-foot putt, but it's a putt nonetheless. Now, 2 different ways to play it. Calzone is going to go with a 310 high loft driver over this mountain with a Maniacs and see if he clears. He does easily. Lands gorgeous and just nice and soft, and he's going to have a putt as well. So, again, 2 different ways to play these holes. Marc with a 40-foot putt, basically with left 2 and absolute center cup. Nice eagle. Calzone with a 30-footer, and he's also dead center. So, no blood. Both players ain't under par as we go into hole number 6. 2 different ways to play that hole. I hope you noticed that. One off the wall, cracking it back, letting it bank, and you've got the one where you just overpower with the high loft driver and a Maniacs. Just 2 great ways to play the hole. Now, this hole here is makeable. This is a par 3. Some players would use a stinger. Marc is going up top. That's going to bounce too far right. That's not going to be points, I don't think. Now, here's the stinger. He's going to bring in this nice and low and see if he can't make this like a chip. He'll probably hit this around 60 or 70% with a javelin. Cut that wind out, play that right 3 in the green, and see if he can't make it like a chip. This will be close. Here it comes. And he just misses to the left. That was a good try. The 3-iron is a nice shot to put in there, a nice club, but it does take some of that wind. So that 2.5-mile-an-hour wind does push that 3-iron a little more than it would a 2-iron or even a 1-iron. Some players will use the 1-iron and probably have to hit that club about 50%, but it does take a little bit of the wind out. There's several ways you can play that shot. But a nice one by Calzone. Nice job by Marc. Both players make birdie, and we move on. Here is the Maniacs ball. Goes over the mountains, perfectly middle of the fairway of this short par 5. You can go this way. That's a 345-yard drive, and you just make this hole honestly, it's a short par 4 when you do it this way, although it is a par 5. So they will have probably 7 or 8 irons into this green. They will most likely use a javelin ball and try to get the distance perfect and see if they can't get some points here. Now, the pin is tucked behind that sand, as you can see, so you have to be careful. You can't leave it short or you will be in trouble. Boy, that's a nice shot by Marc. Lands it just past that sand trap. Almost points it. Calzone, very deliberate, pulling back, making sure his distance perfect. 149-yard club, so he can't use all of that or he'll be way long. Throws this thing about 91%, and it is in there for points. Great shot by Calzone, 9,000 points. So we are very close on great shot points now. And we're both going to get a couple birdies here. So the players are tearing the front 9 apart, honestly. There has not been one problem. They've played holes very differently, although the scores are absolutely the same. Really nice job so far by these players. We're going to hole number 8. And usually when you've just got a 9-hole match, this is the hole that sometimes decides it. So there's several ways to play this one as well. And we'll see what the setup looks like. So with the pin on the left side of the green, the players will go to the left side of this mountain. Marc will use a sniper and throw this thing in there. Nice shot. He's going to have a little bit of a putt. Not probably as close as he wanted, but look where the pin is. I mean, it's barely past the sand trap. Pro settings are very difficult. Calzone is going to try to get this thing a little closer. 12-mile-an-hour wind. He's going to use the sniper, and I'm going to be honest, I've never used a sniper on this hole. I need to reconsider. And that thing is short, to the right. Marc's going to have a putt of 40 feet, while Calzone will be contemplating his chip out of the sand. What a putt by Marc. Now, this is big. Pitching wedge, javelin ball. You've got to play the slope of the green and see if Calzone can match Marc's eagle. Big shot early here in this match, as you see him trying to get the perfect pullback. It is up and good. That is a heck of a chip by Calzone. Both players now 13 under par. Very close on great shot points. 16,000 for Marc, 14,000 for Calzone. And we will now go to the 9th hole of Juniper Falls. This one is also a hole that once you get out in the fairway, the players will be looking at this pin with a javelin ball to cut the wind out, trying to make the hole. They're going to try to hold this thing out. Worst case scenario for these guys is they want to try to get great shot points on the last. So Marc used a Maniacs to get out in the fairway, and Calzone will be doing the torpedo. This thing will hit the fairway and just take off like a bullet. So 2 different ways to hit the fairway here, and we go into this 9th green and see what they have. Calzone will go with a 4-iron. 3-mile-an-hour wind will be pushing him from right to left. That's beautiful pullback, nice and straight. It's just all about, is your line right? Do you have the bounce of the green anticipated correctly? And here's his shot. This thing looks like it is a hair left. It is, and it is in there for points. It is. 6,000 points for Matt. Very nice shot. He now takes a great shot point lead on Marc. But, of course, you know Marc still has his shot from the fairway. That's a really good ball. I think that if you hit that thing maybe one more click to the right, you might have a chance of holding that thing out, or maybe just a little more weight behind it. Marc, nice straight pullback. He will throw this in there. Now, this is a little bit more right than Calzone's was. Let's see if he's got the right weight. A little bit short, but, man, that's a good shot. 10,400 points. So Marc will go into the 10th hole. These players will be tied, and Marc will have a little bit of an advantage on great shot points. And, again, as we've talked about numerous times, great shot points are the deciding factor. It is the tiebreaker if these players are tied after 18 holes. So 14 each, 14 under each here on Juniper Falls. This is Golden Tee Mobile, the league. Again, I'm Chad Schrump, and this is Season 2 of the league. Commissioner is Josh Simmons. This was his vision to put a league out there, and my gosh, man, it has really taken off in popularity. There's 2 purple brackets this year, 2 purple divisions, 1 bronze division, 1 silver division, and 1 gold division. With 15 to 20 players in each division, it's just been an absolute blast. If you haven't played yet, you need to get on the Facebook Golden Tee mobile site and try to figure out how you're going to get in for Season 3, because it's a really good time. Both players will challenge hole number 10 of Juniper Falls. This one was a tricky hole back when I first started playing. I thought, man, how am I ever going to eagle this hole? Very difficult. Then the players, I just started watching matches. I watched the Golden Tee World Championship head-to-head matches and see the guys go right over the mountain with the Maniacs. And I thought, well, that really helps a lot, obviously. And then you just start getting better clubs. Woo! Calzone, what a shot. Oh, my. 17,700 points into this par 5. The javelin goes in. As I was saying, the more you watch these matches, the more you see little trips and tips that you can find and figure out, how am I going to be better at my game? What can I do? What can I incorporate to become the best I can at Golden Tee Mobile? And right now, honestly, you're watching 2 of the best players. Marc's going to be a little bit short here, but that's a makeable putt that's going to go left to right. It's going to be a right 4. He'll pour this in, and Calzone will make his little tap in. What a shot by Matt, and he takes the lead on great shot points after 10 holes. So both players 16 under par. Matt now with an 11,000 great shot point lead going into hole number 11, the par 3. This one you have to make sure that you weigh the distance correctly, because this thing is up 6, so it's going to hit the green, and it can come right back, and you've got to be a little bit behind the hole when you hit it. And that is what Calzone has done. Now here it comes back with the javelin. Take that wind out, and it's got a little bit of a backspin to it. He will have a very makeable putt for a birdie. Now let's see what Marc can do. Marc will also hit the wind cutter with a lower lofted club, hoping for it to go up and climb the green, which it does. It's a little bit left, but it is another makeable birdie putt, obviously, for these two. Neither one, honestly, have been in trouble. Neither one have been in trouble. Calzone had a little bit of work on number 8 from the sand trap, made a heck of a chip to get in there. But other than that, these guys have just been tearing this course apart. And again, this is on pro setting. You cannot make this thing any harder than what it is right now. This thing is a little tricky. We've got a 14-mile-an-hour wind, so Matt will take that to his advantage. Lets that sniper ball ride the wind, lands the green. He'll have an uphill putt. Marc will do the same thing. He's going to let the sniper ride the wind. He's going to land almost identically to where Matt was, so both players will have a right-to-left putt. Left 4, uphill, very makeable. These are two more eagle. Ooh, a little bit left there. I got a little bit sideways on him, and same for Marc. But both putts go in. We are now 19 under each going into hole number 13, Juniper Falls. This is Golden T-Mobile, the league, the match of the week. We're going to try to do this once a week and let you guys watch some of the very best players in the world to try to help your games get better as you go. So here's one way to play this hole, and it's the way I go almost every time. There's a little channel here right before the pond. You got to be careful not to put it in this lake. I'm sure Iceland would not appreciate me calling that body of water a pond, although it is small. But they landed it right here in the flowers. Those will magically disappear. Marc will hit it over this mountain with a grabber. Going to let that 11-mile-an-hour wind bring him right back to the hole. Really nice ball. He'll have an eagle putt here, and Marc is in good position. Now, here comes Calzone. He will be doing the wind cutter. This thing should bounce to his left, but it's going to be a little bit short. So they have gone through this tricky hole, and they're going to both have a couple of eagles. And again, we're squared up. After 13 holes of golf on Juniper Falls, we are still knotted up. No one has taken advantage other than great shot points. So right now, Calzone has what you would consider a half-stroke lead. Because again, great shot points, what are they, kids? That's right, they're the deciding factor. Here is a par 3 that is sometimes very tricky. This time it is not too bad. Calzone will use a wind cutter, fire this thing up to the top shelf just over that trap. And he's good to go. Wow, that was very close. I would have loved to have seen that again because I think he just missed hitting. And we will see that again. Great shot, 7,000 points. It looked like that about hit the rock. And if that does hit the rock, as some of you know, that will kick you dead left. So that just clears, and it looked like it hit the fringe. Nice soft bounce. Very, very well executed by Calzone. So let's see what Marc has. He's going to ride this wind in. Oh, man, he hits that fringe as well. The little bit of rough before the fringe. He is going to putt this, and he makes it. Birdie. So they've taken this hole. The pin was cut pretty diabolically, and they both birdie and move on to hole number 15. Now we're getting tricky. Now we're getting to some tough holes. 15, 16, 17, and 18 can play like absolute beasts. I know 15 looks like a very timid hole, but there is something about this green. There's something about the elevation. The ball doesn't seem to do what you want it to do. It doesn't carry like you like it to carry, and you have to be really careful on this green. Calzone will attack the left side of the fairway, gives himself a lot of green to work with. I would imagine that Marc will go down to the right side of the fairway, which he does. A lot of players go this way. Gives him a lot of leeway with a nice deep green where he can just plant that ball wherever he really wants and just make a putt. So here comes Calzone's shot. It looks really good, actually. He's left himself a nice shot. Plays it way to the left, lets it kick to the right. Very well done, nice and safe. The players respect this green. Marc is going to take more club than he needs because he knows how this thing carries. He's going to throw it maybe over the hole. Wow, so aggressive. He is so aggressive. Really good shot. Great shot points. Was not safe at all. If that thing comes up short, it kicks back into the water. He was not afraid of that, knows how to play this game. Perfect shot, and the players will go into hole 16 all knotted up. They are 23 under apiece. This has been perfectly executed golf. There's no other way you can say it. They just played perfectly. A lot of great shot points, great scores, challenging the hole. Here's a par 5. The players will put this ball right before the sand trap, and then they're going to float a 5 or 6 wood into the green. Good shot by Calzone. He might have actually a 7 wood to go into this green. Marc will use a wind cutter, high tee, driver. He's probably also going to have a 6 or 7 wood going into this green. Hits a little bit short, so he might have the 5. Let's see what he does here. 6 wood, wind cutter, hit this thing to the right side. Watch this kick to the left is what he should get. Well, that's soft. That's way softer than you would normally see. Good shot. He's going to have a nice eagle putt. Calzone, who, by the way, if we haven't said it enough, might be playing better than anyone in the world right now, hits the green, lets it come back, and both players will have a putt for eagle. Left 8 for Marc. A little bit tricky, and he makes it. Very good putt. 11 under on this back 9, 25 under overall. And Calzone pours this thing into the heart of the hole. He is also 25 under. As we go into 17, let's see what kind of wind we have. Let's see what kind of hole we have. Where is it cut? Honestly, that's about as safe as you can see this hole cut on a pro condition. That's really not bad. Really not bad. Calzone's going to try to float this over the mountain, land it with a sniper, and plant into the green because it's a left 10. Almost anything else is going to roll into the water when it hits this green. So if you judge the wind correctly, this should be just fine, and it is. Really nice shot by Calzone. Really nice shot. And he's starting to apply some pressure. Because with that half-stroke lead with the great shot points, Marc has to make something happen. Marc's going to try the same shot, float this thing over the rock wall, and he played it a little too far to the right. So he's got a little bit of a tricky right 6, but I think he'll make this no problem, and he does. 12 under on the back 9. Calzone, he also makes his putt. So 12 under on the back, 26 under overall, and quite frankly, folks, if Calzone can get on this green and make his putt without Marc pointing, then Calzone is going to win this match. We're going way up high with the grabber. One hop. Slides back. What a shot. What a shot. Calzone trying to close this match out. He has become a killer. Marc will try a 7 wood sniper. See if he can get this lined up perfectly. It looks a little bit right. Man, the distance was absolutely perfect. He's just a little bit right. He's going to make this putt, but I think that Calzone will too. And if Calzone does, he's taking care of business and won this match, which will generate him 1 point because the player is tied 28-28. What a match. Great shot point advantage goes to Calzone, so he will take 1 point in Golden T-Mobile, the league, in the standings. Great match by Calzone. Wonderful match by Marc. The players are 2 of the very best in the world, and you can see why. Special thanks to Matt Calderone, who edited this video. Thanks to the league commissioner, Josh Simmons, data infrastructure, Joel Wilburn, and the league advisors, Mark Duchesne and Tony Johnson. Could not do any of this without you guys. It's been an unbelievable ride. We're just starting. We're going to try to make this better and better. Appreciate any comments and suggestions. Here's the game's shots of the night. Marc with his early shot on that par 3 was beautiful. This might have been the whole match saver here. He doesn't make this. This is Calzone. You don't make this chip, the match is over. You lose by a stroke. And that was a really clutch shot on number 8 on the front. And here's a beauty on hole number 10 by Calzone. Thank you once again for watching and listening. I'm Chad Schrump. This is Golden T-Mobile, the league, the match of the week.